So our final award for this afternoon is the Alice Hamilton Award. This is an award our section gives for lifelong achievement. And here to present our award winners for this year is Amy Weedman.
Hi, thank you for letting me introduce our awardees for this year. It's really an honor just to introduce them. So for over 25 years, this dynamic academic duo, Tom Arcury and Sara A Quandt, have produced this amazing body of research that examines the occupational health and safety of immigrant workers. They have produced over 200 publications on migrant farm workers, on poultry processing workers, and construction workers. And what is unique about the work that they have done, obviously it's important to all of us in this room to look at the occupational health and safety of immigrant workers, but they have been so committed in their work to engage community partners and return the results of the work to the workers. They have worked with Student Action for Farm Workers, they have worked with community health clinics, they have worked with promotores de salud, always wanting to partner, always wanting to hear their perspective, and most importantly, always wanting to make sure that these folks got their research in their hands. For those of us who work on policy that seeks to strengthen the protection of immigrant workers, we cannot underscore the importance of their research. Personally, I have spent my career trying to strengthen the worker protection standard for farm workers. In 2015, we did that. And thanks so much to Tom and Sara for the work and the evidence that we were able to show policymakers on behalf of farm workers and their exposures to pesticides. They have also been extraordinary in their research on poultry processing workers, and their evidence and their research has really driven the campaigns for more protections for poultry workers. So that is not often that we have these researchers that we can look to their work and their commitment to workers, and we can go to policymakers with literally piles of work. And also, I just want to say lastly that not only have they done this research and their commitment to the community and a commitment to workers, but they have mentored so many folks, from doctors to researchers, and they've also been open their doors to practitioners, including myself. And there's something that Tom Arcury once told me, and as a practitioner, this is something that's so hard for me, but he's like, if you don't write it, it never happened. And so he's been very willing to take practitioners and include them in their papers along with Sara, and that too has allowed us, as we go to promote and work for policy change and work for better protection for workers, to strengthen that voice. And so it is such a pleasure to be able to introduce them, but it's also an honor to have been able to work with them throughout their career and to have used their work to help workers. So with that, I'd like to introduce Tom Arcury and Sara A Quandt.
So we flipped a coin to see who would get to talk. Tom won or lost, depending on your perspective, and then he caught a cold. So I suggested that I would talk and he would do interpretive dance, which is not going to happen. But thank you very much, Amy, for your kind words today. Tom and I are honored and humbled to receive the Alice Hamilton Award from this section. And we thank Celeste Montfortin, who can't hear today, who has been one of our champions and who I think nominated us. The work you recognize today has very much been a team effort. Tom and I were trained as social scientists, anthropologists to be exact. We're fortunate to work with other scientists who bring to this work their technical expertise in fields such as neurology, pediatrics, orthopedics, dermatology, toxicology, statistics, things that we don't know very much about. One of our colleagues, Joanne Sandberg, is here today, and we're delighted to have her here. We have benefited from the passion of community-based organizations like Student Action with Farm Workers, the North Carolina Farm Workers Project, Western North Carolina Workers Center, and El Buen Pastor Latino Community Services. We've also benefited from the knowledge and skills of attorneys at organizations like the North Carolina Justice Center, the Farm Worker Unit of Legal Aid of North Carolina, and the Southern Poverty Law Center. And all this work is coordinated by a team of dedicated project managers. They spend long hours, often on weekends and in evenings, working directly with immigrant workers to collect high-quality data, to protect the rights of research participants, and to return the study results to them. And one of these project managers, Philip Summers, is our photographer today. And we welcome him here. Tom and I moved to North Carolina in 1994, and we were quickly involved with efforts to reduce pesticide exposure for migrant and seasonal farm workers. Looking back, we were incredibly naive. We had little understanding of the politics of North Carolina agriculture, especially surrounding migrant labor and tobacco. We quickly came to understand the social injustices workers experienced and learned that we could make our best contribution as researchers by providing our research results to advocates. This started with basic data to refute the claims of some policymakers that workers were never exposed to pesticides. And this has progressed to our current work, exploring the subclinical effects that pesticides have on the developing brains of children in farm worker families. Along the way, we've always tried to be responsive to the needs for research expressed by service providers and advocates who work with immigrant workers, and the issues identified by workers themselves. Each major research topic we've addressed has been at the request of these partners. This has led us to other studies with farm workers on green tobacco sickness, on skin disease, farm worker housing, food security in farm worker families, and hired child farm workers. It has also expanded our research to working with other immigrant populations, including poultry processing workers and residential roofers. We have consistently tried to direct our work to a policy audience. To that end, we've developed policy briefs aimed at legislators that encapsulate research findings and make policy recommendations. We've participated in meetings with agency and legislative staffs in Raleigh and Washington, D.C. We've also worked to provide data to those who can advocate better than we can for the rights and safety of workers. Our work has been cited in lawsuits brought to prevent line speed increases in poultry processing plants and in the congressional record in proposed legislation to curtail child farm labor. It has been an honor to do this work, and we thank you again for the recognition today.